Hey everybody, I think we're live. Yeah, we should be live. Jennifer Antiel here with the DIY Academy coming at you with our every weekday training. And today, and I just wanted to take a quick second to make sure that we're live on the page here. Looks like it. Okay, awesome. So today I wanted to talk about when you're ready to take the next step. Move to the next step in your business and use an accounting program. I just wanted to go through and do a quick demo of one that I really love, especially for business owners who might be in the creative realm, the services realm, things like that, artists, designers, things like that. This program works really well for you and is really great for people who are not accounting or financially-ish minded. I know I did a training on the Excel template that I have put together maybe a couple weeks back now, and that's really great for when you're starting out. But eventually, at some point, you're going to need to move into a accounting software, and this is a really great option. So let me share my screen with you, and I'm going to hide myself. Oh, I just hit my name. Even though my name is not on the screen. This is so weird. Sometimes it gets really funky. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a product. One of the software is called Xero. And obviously, like the big elephant in the room is probably everybody's heard of QuickBooks Online or QBO or QuickBooks. This is another very similar, but very different in and of itself. It's not quite as popular, especially here in the U.S. It's more of, it's really gaining popularity in the U.S. though. It actually is like an Australian product, I believe. So it's really, a lot of people over in like Australia and New Zealand use it, also in like the UK. So they use this a lot. Xero has been moving into the U.S. market and is continuing to gain market share, so it's getting more popular. But I really love it. So let's just go and take a quick look. This would be like your dashboard. This is the demo company that Xero puts out. So there's all sorts of information already in here. We're just going to kind of walk through what some things are, right? So when you log into Xero, this is after you have signed up, of course, and hooked things up. So like here you see your checking account, and what you would do is you would link your checking account into this, so it's automatically pulling transactions for you to reconcile every day, week, month, whatever you're doing, right? So again, we're looking at it as though you've already set your file up a little bit, right? So this is the dashboard again, and as you can see, there's these different tiles that tell you all sorts of really helpful information. These are movable. You can move them around just simply by going down here and editing dashboard. You should be able to drag and drop just to kind of how you want to see things. Maybe you want your savings account up there. Maybe you want your, like right next to your checking account, right? Or let's say you really want to keep a handle on who owes you what in your business. So there you go. Simply just by dragging and dropping these around, you can create and make your dashboard what you want it to be, which is really nice. You can't really do this with QBO. QBO is pretty much set up for you. So then we're just going to go ahead and hit Save Changes. So let's see here. So you got your checking account. So this particular file, they have a checking account and they have a savings account. It doesn't look like they actually have the savings account hooked up or linked, if you will. And that's fine. You don't have to do that. Some banks simply just don't have a feed, or getting transactions downloaded from your bank is kind of a pain in the butt for some of the banks. So what you would do is you would import a bank statement. I realize probably nobody knows what that means, but it's essentially like downloading your transactions into an Excel or a CSV file, and then you import it in here so that you have the transactions from your bank account in your Xero file, if you will. Again, so these are invoices owed to you, so you can keep track of any outstanding invoices that you potentially need to send out. See, these say 2 draft invoices. That means that they're invoices that you are working on. They're in draft form. You haven't approved them and or sent them out to your customer to get paid, right? This is showing awaiting payment, and of those 8, look at all of them are overdue. So that would tell you, hey, I need to go like figure out what the heck is going on with these, right? So really easy way to, at a glance, see what's going on in your business, right? Here's like the account watch list. If you have particular accounts that you wanted to keep track of, I always say what gets measured gets managed. So perhaps you want to keep a handle on your advertising expenses. So here you can see, and there's nothing in here for the month, but here you can see, okay, year to date, I've spent $14,953.75 on advertising. So maybe that's a little higher than you wanted. Maybe that's a little lower than you wanted. So keeping track of these accounts that you want, just again, right at a glance, is really, really helpful. Xero does a really good job of giving you the information you like want to see, like in a snap, easily. Doesn't take much time and effort to look something up. Like you'd have to go pull a report or whatever, right? Xero does a really good job at this. Just like with the invoices owed to you, down here you would see bills you need to pay, so you can keep track of your accounts payable. Again, you can see here 18 are awaiting payment, 18 are overdue, so you may need to go make some payments or write some checks, right? So expense claims. Xero has the expense claim function, which is essentially expense reports, right? For if you have employees and you're reimbursing for things they buy, or if they have like a phone, you give them money towards their phone every month, whatever. This is a great way to manage expense reports right in Xero. So that's what expense claims are. Little graph showing your cash in and cash out for the months, which is really, really great. Where you're probably going to spend most of your time, especially on a weekly basis. Remember, we talked about weekly kind of reconciling things. You can actually do it monthly, but with Xero, it makes it really, really nice, especially if your banks are linked to do this daily if you want it. So what you would do is, as you can see, this is telling you that there's 25 items that you need to reconcile in your bank account. What does that mean? So let's go take a look. You just click on it, and then you wait. So this side over here is what your bank has pulled in, or I'm sorry, Xero has pulled in from your bank, because your bank is linked into Xero, right? So this is going in and it's pulling up, downloading, if you will, all the transactions into Xero. And this side is what you are telling Xero what these transactions are for, or if you've gone in and either entered an invoice, which is a sale to a customer of yours. Invoices are considered like the sales, so the things that you're sending to your customers to have them pay, that's an invoice. Or if you've entered a bill in Xero, a bill means something you're waiting to pay, right? So you go and you buy something. You buy something, and so then you put the bill into Xero, and that way when you actually go and pay that bill, or you get paid from your customer, it's going to show up on this side, and Xero will have a match to match to. We'll go look at how it all works and see a match here in just a second. But so anyway, this is basically downloading directly from the your bank itself, and you can click on these more details. Sometimes there's a little bit more information in here. It really all depends on your bank, what actually gets pulled over. So you have several things that you can do on these particular ones. So here you can see, so left column is what you've spent or cash money out. And on the right side of this is cash money in, or what you've received, right? So this is saying you received $2,000 from Jacaranda Maple Systems. Don't know what that is, but clearly, if Xero was able to find a match, it would show there. And again, we'll go look at that. Maybe I should do that first. Let's go look at one that it's actually matching to. Don't really see any matches. Come on, show me a match. There we go. Okay, so this is a little bit different. This is, you spent $49.90 at Wilson Online Periodicals. So this is saying that there's a match. See how it's green? It's like flagging, like boop, boop, boop. This is a match. So this is when you would have gone in and you would have entered a bill into Xero, or if you are using a third-party app called like HubDoc and you have all of your invoices and your receipts in there, it could actually be matching from that, but training for another day. So anyway, at any point in time, you have you've entered a bill into Xero. So it's saying it's matching this line with that bill that you entered. So to reconcile this, all you need to do is you need to click this little OK button. So click and it goes away. It's reconciled. There's nothing you will actually have to do at the end of the month, which is really, really nice. Oh, here's another one. So it's saying same thing. You spent $35. Actually, nope. You received $35 from Wilson Periodicals. Who knows what that's for? Looks like it matches. We're just going to say that it matches. So you just hit OK. And you would just keep doing this for every single transaction down the line for the month. So let's go back to the previous. All right, so on this first line, see, it's really nice because you can add, if you can't find a match, you don't know what it is, and it's not a transfer. Transfer would be like if you have multiple bank accounts set up and you transferred from, like, say, this checking account to your savings account, you would go ahead and you would just enter it as a transfer right here on this tab. So, but then this one, it's saying this is a payment on a really old invoice, so I wasn't sure where to code it. So it's really like, if you have more than one person working in the file, like you can leave notes back and forth to each other, whatever, whatnot. We're just gonna ignore that one for right now since we don't, again, this is demo coming, I don't know what's going on in here. All right, so on this one here, this looks like, so you've received $2,000 from Jacaranda Maple Systems. I would advise actually entering the invoice, or hopefully you're doing invoicing out of Xero so that it's gonna have a match. However, if you're not doing that, you can certainly still use Xero, and you can just add this on the fly, if you will. So what you would do is you just basically start entering the information. And a lot of this stuff you can add just right on the fly if something isn't set up. So Xero is really, really nice. You don't have to go to like, oh, I didn't set them up. Now I had to go over here, I got to set them up, and I got to do this. And no, you can just do it right on the fly, which is really, really nice. Helpful, saves you time, right? And then you need to choose your account. So hopefully you have an understanding of what a chart of accounts is, or when you sign up, Xero has a pretty decent default chart of accounts that you can use. It does need a little work, in my opinion, and you should tailor and customize it to yourself so that it makes sense for your business, of course. But for the purposes of this training, we're just going to use what is in here, right? And so, you're receiving money, so this isn't going to be an expense. So right now it's listing all the expenses first: assets, liabilities, equity, and revenue. So we only have 3 revenue accounts here. We're just going to go ahead and say sales for this. If you want to enter a description, you could. You can also add more details if you needed to. Right down here, if you needed to, for some reason, break out amounts here. What was the other revenues? If you needed to, for whatever reason, so let's just say 1,500 is sales, and we'll say the other 1,500 is other revenue. For whatever reason, right? I mean, this weird example, but sometimes it happens, right? Again, this is where using the invoicing feature in Xero is going to be better than like doing this particular thing every single time. Use the invoicing function. But again, you can change it nonetheless. If you need to add a reference, yada yada, you can do that all here. Then when you're done, you just hit save. Oh, I gotta hit, sorry, I need quantity of 1. That's why, because see, it'll yell at you if it doesn't match to the total here too. So save transaction, and now it's telling you we've matched to this particular transaction, and then you can go ahead and just hit reconcile. All of these things, you can always make adjustments if needed, but for this particular one, we don't need to make any adjustments. So you just go ahead and hit reconcile, and that should have taken that away. And it did. Awesome. Let's look at one where you've spent money. Right here, Swanton Security. So oh, good, it's already set up. So you can just basically start typing the name, which is really, really awesome. Security, let's see if security is set up. No, we'll just go ahead and put utilities for right now. Again, you can enter a description if you want, all that sort of thing. And then you can also, oh, this is what I wanted to say. So if you had an invoice or a bill from your supplier, right, or from Swanson Security, you could do this little thingy, whatever you call it, like attachment, and you can upload that bill right in here, and then it will store it on this transaction. So if you ever needed to go back and look at it, you could do that within Xero. So that's a really nice feature. What's even faster is if you get something called HubDoc or Receipt Bank. Those are other apps that link with Xero and would do that for you more streamlined, I guess, if you will. But again, you could certainly do it manually from here. Oh, but you can also do that from the Xero app too on your phone. And so that might be a faster way to do it, depending on how you set it up and how you use it, I guess. Anyway, so we don't have anything to add, so we're just going to go ahead and hit OK. So this one, there is what's called bank rules that you can set up so that Xero, when it sees this particular thing here, so probably 7-Eleven, we'll just click on it and should bring up how the rule was set up. So you've created a rule saying anytime that your bank or Xero sees this particular name or whatever, let's go down here. The payee contains 11. It's going to tell Xero that the rule is that those things need to be coded to office expenses, and it'll put it right to the correct contact, and all that fun stuff. So that is really a huge time saver. We're gonna go ahead and hit save. It's a really huge time saver. So anytime you see the rules that are matching, you would see this and you would just say, oh, that works perfect. Okay, good to go. And so what does it do? It tries to match, it tries to find your bank rule, and then lastly, Xero will also go off of what you did previously. So it will recognize, okay, Ridgeway Banking Corporation, a previous transaction, you assigned it to Ridgeway Bank and you assigned it to bank service charges. And it's like auto-populating that, so then hopefully saving you time, right? Look at that, you're like, oh, perfect. So good to go. So what you do is basically you just do this all day, every day, and for the end of the month, and that's how you're going to reconcile your bank account. It's really, really awesome. So that's kind of the reconciliation, what we like to call rolling reconciliation, because you can do this every day rolling. It's not a typical bank reconciliation that you would do at the end of the month, where you take your bank statement and you take your file that's in Xero or QBO or whatever, and check off all of the transactions in your accounting software, and hopefully they match to your bank statement, and hopefully your bank balances match or reconcile, right? So it's a little bit different. So it's called a rolling reconciliation. I'm not going to get into really any setup or anything like that. Let's just go back to the dashboard. What I love about Xero, it's a little less accounting-y or scary for people. It's still very powerful. You can still do very powerful accounting things, like running reports. Let's see here. Doing invoices, quotes, sales. Your sales overview is like it would take you to let's just go look at it. It takes you to another page, and you can see what's outstanding, who owes you what, how much they owe you, all of that fun stuff. So you're going to have that for sales. You're also going to have that for what you owe, your purchases. So they look very similar. It's just sales and purchases, right? And then your expense claims, which we talked about, was your expense reports. Products and services, this is where you would set up If you have inventory items or item codes that you're using, we're not going to get into this today. That's a whole nother training. But again, so you can see that Xero is very robust and just does a lot of things. Other thing I wanted to show, so just like any other accounting program, QuickBooks, you're going to have your standard financial reports. I think Xero, maybe they changed it. Some of their namings are a little bit weird. Well, kind of, sort of. Like, so your income statement, that in QBO, they call it the profit and loss. Income statement and profit and loss are interchangeable. The correct terminology is income statement, but a lot of people just say profit and loss or P&L. Your balance sheet, summaries of your payables and receivables. You have your sales tax report, which I don't care for, but again, training for another day. Oh, I love this. So Xero has a find and recode function that saves so much time. So say you've coded or classified a bunch of things, and then you realize, oh shit, those were the wrong accounts to use. You can use the find and recode to change all of those transactions like super quick. You don't have to go in and manually do every single one. I've relied on this like so many times, more than I care to admit, but it's a really, really great function. So chart of accounts, same standard accountancy stuff, right? Fixed assets. So if you have large capital expenditures in your business, you should have a fixed asset register where you are adding your fixed assets to your balance sheet, and then you are taking depreciation over the year, right? So you would have your fixed asset register right here, and then what we like to call, accountants like to do a lot of these funky things called journal entries. And so you can still do those in Xero. I would preface that with know what you're doing before you do journal entries, especially in Xero. Xero really tries to have you not do journal entries because you should be able to do everything you wanted to with normal spend transactions or receive money transactions, and try to avoid really using journal entries. So yes, unless you really know what you're doing, you're an accountant, or you really just love journal entries, try to not do these because you have the ability to mess everything up if you don't know what you're doing is there if you don't know what you're doing. So Xero also has a projects. So if you're somebody who has a lot to do like tracking for like various projects, so like job costing and all of that kind of fun stuff, they do have a projects feature. I haven't used it quite yet. I don't have any clients that have a need for it, but from what I've heard is it may or not be good. It's a newer function, I believe, and so I'm sure they're like working out the bugs. They're like listening to everybody's feedback and making changes, which Xero is really good about, is listening and trying to make Xero better. So again, I don't use it, so I can't really speak directly about it. But from what I have heard, just kind of in like the bookkeeper and accountant world, is it's not amazing. So we'll leave that at that. Contacts, this is going to be your list of everybody that you have set up as a payee or a customer or things like that. And then in here is how you would also track for if you have to 1099 any of the people that you have paid over the years. So that is it in a nutshell. More than likely, you'd be hanging out over here most often or on the dashboard. There is easy way to do things right from this little plus sign, which is probably faster than going through the menus over here. As you can see, you can quickly create an invoice, again, which is where you're invoicing a customer. You can quickly add a bill. That's where you owe somebody. Contracts, quotes, purchase orders, manual journals, again, try to stay away from those. Spend money, so if you just want to record something as an expense right then and there versus a bill or something that you're going to pay at a future date, you would do a spend money transaction. Or receive money, if you didn't want to do an invoice because you've received money from somebody and you don't want to deal with the whole invoicing situation and matching and blah. Just do a receive money, over done with. Transfer money, that's again where you're transferring, say, your checking to your savings, all that fun stuff. You can also look for anything in Xero. And then there's notifications, which I wonder, yep, I probably shouldn't have, whatever. So you would see, if you had any notifications, you would see those here. I see ones for all of my clients because obviously I have an account. So anywho, that is Xero in a really, really fast overview. I really like it, like I said. It's a really great option for folks. And I did want to go over pricing. So they have a free trial, so you get to try it for 30 days. Yeah, 30 days, which is really, really nice. And I apologize, these changed very recently-ish, so kind of nice. So they have three packages now, basically. So early, you're limited to 5 invoices and quotes a month, entering 5 bills a month, and then reconciling 20 bank transactions. So if you're a really, really small business, this could be a good fit for you. Again, $9 a month, and you get it free for 30 days. And then you have the growing package, that's $30 a month. You can send, looks like unlimited invoices and quotes. You can enter unlimited bills, reconcile unlimited transactions. So basically the difference here is, this you're limited to the numbers, this is unlimited, but you get nothing else for that, just those things. Then they have the established package, that's $60 a month. Again, same thing as the growing package, but you get multi-currency. So if you're somebody that has the need to use multi-currency, you're gonna actually have to use this one. And then expenses, if you are tracking expenses and issuing like expense reports to people and reimbursements, you would need this package. And again, I mentioned the projects feature. If you had to do that, you would need to be on the established plan. So that is, that's right, they do this. They offer full service payroll through Gusto, as you can see here, $39 a month and $6 per person. Just trying to see if there's anything that I wanted to really say. Oh yeah, it has the app, which is really, really nice. So you can do things on the go. And Xero's really, really good about, what is it called? Like training and tips and advice, not only on how to use your product, but as far as running a business too. So that's really, really awesome that they do that. I think that's it that I wanted to go over today. Hopefully you learned something about, can you see me now? Let me do this. Okay. So hope you learned about something about Xero. Again, it's a newer-ish to the US, but it's certainly gaining a lot of popularity. I see it being recommended by business owners a lot more now, which is good. I also use QBO, and both are good. Both have their quirks and their goods and their bads. And that is it. As a reminder, I was going to do the announcement today. So we have a program or a product that we are launching, and it's basically an accounting 101 course, right? So you would learn all sorts of things, how to run your business, doing all the financially-ish stuff. We talk about setting up your business, like what you need to do to register, all that fun stuff. We go over Xero, we go over QBO, we go through some other apps. We talk about bookkeeping, like what is it, like why do you need to do it, how you need to do it. We give you a really good timeline for when you should be doing things. What else do we talk about? Paying yourself as a business owner, some tax stuff, and I'm sure there's more, but off the top of my head, I cannot think about it. But anyway, we're looking for beta testers right now. So if that's something you are interested in testing out and seeing, using it and letting us know like what you think about it, because that's the biggest thing is like, we need to know if we're, talking about the right things and like being helpful, or if we change things or add things, whatever. So if you're interested in learning more about that, go ahead and drop beta in the comments, and we will get some information out to you and reach out to you. And as another reminder, tonight is the last night for the August Hustle Bootcamp. So tonight at 8 o'clock, we're going to be talking sales. Super stoked about this particular training. And we will see you back again tomorrow at 11:30 right here on the DIY Academy. Bye, everybody.